Hello there, Sir from 17 once again. This is my Devil May Cry 4, Dante Must Die, SSS rank walkthrough. This is mission 11, it's called the Ninth Circle, and I think this mission is a piece of shit. Let me elaborate. So firstly, I had to do this mission about 10 times because I couldn't find the orbs. Well, firstly, I couldn't beat Sanctus because it had been a long time since I'd fought him, and he fights like an absolute bitch, and I hate him. Secondly, I couldn't find the orbs. So, it's just that weird thing, isn't it, of the level itself I find really fun. I think the enemies that you fight in it are fine. I enjoy the angels, I enjoy the Mephistos, which somebody told me the name of, thank you. I don't mind the Fausts, I could remember their name. You know, I think the enemies, and I think the level itself is pretty simple stuff, pretty fun stuff. This kind of sucks dick. So, I can't control the camera because this is one of those moments where the camera's fixed, so I can't take it off the Faust. The Faust decides to do his phantom tickle move, and next thing I know I'm getting pink rapage, so just be careful of that. It's not that difficult to dodge, just wait for them to move, because they all move back as they pincer forward and then you jump, but I'd done this level a lot at this point and my patience was waning thin. Somebody left a comment as well today saying that did I know that bustering the cloaks on the Mephistos and the Faust is a quicker way of getting the cloak off them? And the answer to that is yes. I do know it, I just don't really do it. The reason I snatch is because it allows me to do it at a better distance and it allows me to control the camera a little better. Also, I don't like how slow the Buster is when he does the punch because it's very recovery heavy. It's something you saw me doing a moment ago to kill that first one pretty quickly, but when I fight this enemy type, I'm never really trying to do it very fast. You know, I take my time with most enemies on this game. I'm not much about killing them the fastest or, you know, the most efficient unless I'm playing as Dante, where I'm coming up against a ton of enemies, so I need to get rid of them, so I do things like the distorted real impacts. But if you're curious when it comes to getting the cloak off them, you can attack the cloak with standard weapons as well. You can attack it with a ton of stuff, and certain things are faster than others, but I just shoot it with a fully charged gun and I snatch it. That's just the way I've always done it. Here's a little tile puzzle. I suppose you don't see too many of them in the game, and a couple of scarecrows to fight. I was watching the video for this game the other day. There's somebody on YouTube, I don't know his name. All you have to do is look for like the world's fastest boss kills on Dante Must Die. And I don't know if this person is cheating with some kind of mod that enables him to get max axe every single time he doesn't have to do it, you know, the game does it for him, or if he's just an insane robot human being. But he's killing bosses by doing the helm splitter move that's triple exceeded, and every time he lands it, he jump cancels it, and he's already got a max exceed off the attack itself into another one. So what he does is, he spams jump cancelled, max exceed, helm breakers, and he kills these bosses in like under a minute, like 10-20 second kills and stuff. It's insane. But when I watch it, all I can think is, how the fuck can anybody do that? Like, I can't even get standard exceeds off attacks because my timing is just not there, and it requires a hell of a lot more practice than I was willing to put into this game. Because when you add up how long I've been playing it, my timer on this game was something like... Well, I should actually correct. The timer on this file is about 10 hours. So, from the first mission to the last mission, it took 10 hours of registered gameplay time to record it. So, that's less than a day. I spread it across a couple of weeks because I stopped playing it when I got my Wii U. So I did the first 11 missions a month back now, and then I did the following, 9 missions last week. So there's a bit of a space in between it, but when you add it up collectively, it's like a day of playing. And 10 hours is nowhere near, and considering that a lot of that 10 hours is playing as Dante, is nowhere near the amount of time you have to put in to get competent at the exceeding. The exceeding is a technique that's all about feel, and it's all about getting that feel. And back in the day when I used to play on my, 110 hour file that I've got on this game, which is my original one, back when I put all that time in, I still wasn't brilliant at exceeding. It's just something I've never been that great at. So to see this person do what he does, he's either just really that good, or he's using some kind of, trainer or something. And I don't want to call the person a cheater, so I don't want to in any way put down what he's doing. To me, it just looks impossible. And I don't know if you've seen it, but you should try and check it out, because it's just fucking weird. Like, perfect exceeds every time. Every single time. I've never seen anything like it. And when you watch all the other really good Devil May Cry players, nobody can do that. Nobody does that. So it just seems to me kind of fishy. But who knows, maybe he's just that good. I never underestimate the ability of some gamers, man. Some people are just crazy. But that right there is one of the sneaky orbs. The one I kept missing is a hidden orb cache by standing on one of those pillars that divide this area up. The main reason I don't like this level, aside from the things I've mentioned, is the poorly placed teleporters. I don't know if you're going to see it in this run, but the amount of times I've been fighting and I've teleported back to the start of the level, or I've gone up to where the boss is and shit like that, it's just unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. And I'm more than willing to accept it's my fault because I'm stupid enough to put myself in that position, but when I'm playing and it's all hectic and shit, I'm too busy having fun to be, I shouldn't go over here, I should, knock people over here. And I don't think like that. I just like, smack him in the face, jump around, yeah. Kick some ass. But here is more Angelos. Once again, they're a group of 3, so we can wait for them to do the move. You'll notice I'm charging my gun, and they're doing the move. So that was cool. Wait for it and release. Right, with Dante, for some reason, when I shoot that with the shotgun, because the shotgun has random spread, it's like a 1 in 3 chance that you'll shoot it back. I don't know if there's a trick to it, but the first few levels I recorded as him, I was shooting it back first time, like, yeah, kicking ass. And then the next few, I kept getting hit by it, and it was really annoying. So I started using Prop Shredder instead. And the problem with Prop Shredder is the build-up. There's a lot of build-up on that attack. And that ball moves quicker than you think it does. Believe you me. But it's such a fun way. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in this game. And somebody asked me on this guide, would I prefer a DMC 2 or a Devil May Cry 5? And the answer's always going to be 5. Because Capcom and the people who made this series what it was know how to make fantastic action games. Ninja Theory also know how to make great action games, but they do not know how to get that depth, that mechanical detail that is, that is in every one that came before, except for 2. Fuck that game. Like, the depth in this game is crazy when you get right down to it. Like, Dante being able to swap styles on the fly, being able to distort moves, being able to jump cancel, albeit differently than the last game. The detail in this game is insane. Like, the technical depth. And the enemies. The amount of abilities and what the enemies can do on this game is staggering. And it's a true labour of love. And you can always tell that a game is loved and, really a passion project when the enemies have so much character and so much nuance to them. Like, just think of the enemies in DMC, and I'm not going to be one of those people that shits on that reboot because I liked it. I don't think it is a shadow of the old games, because it isn't. It's simplified, hilariously so, like, unbelievably so. It's a completely different kind of game with the shell of a Devil May Cry. But it was still good, but that's me fucking up with a lift as well. Makes me mad. Ninja Theory wouldn't have done that lift, so I've got to give them props for that. But like the enemies on that game, I don't think they can be any less interesting. Like, the scarecrows in this game have more character, have more moves, and more things they do than... Oh my goodness, just look at this! And that's it, you see? As soon as it does it a few times, I just go, fuck it. Not doing it, not being part of this, want to turn the game off now. Why the hell did I say I'd do this project? And then we come up here and it's a boss that winds me up. Also, you'll notice that you're seeing a couple of loading screens, guys. I normally take them out, but because this is a rank guide, you'd be surprised that some of the comments that I've got by people thinking that I'm editing the videos in a particular way to make it look like I'm somehow cheating the ranks. You probably didn't see that comment because I removed it and I banned the person who said it, because I don't want that kind of mentality. At the end of the day, I don't have anything to prove. This channel's not about me proving anything to anybody. It's about me hopefully helping people who do not have the time to invest insane amounts of times into games. So if I can give them any kind of shortcut to get stuff or to progress and beat things, then I like to do that. So I'm not here to be the higher echelon of Devil May Cry 4 players. I'm not here to have the most skillful, best rank videos. That's not what this is about. And those kind of comments, it wouldn't bother me if the people that did them conducted themselves in a civil and decent way, but they just don't. They just come off really insolent for no other reason than arrogance, and I hate that. It really bugs me. So I kept in a couple of the loading screens the same way people do in speedruns. You know, when people like to prove it's a signal segment and stuff like that, they keep in everything, all the warts and all. And the cool thing with this is they're not very long, and you know, I might remove a couple in the future if they're too long, but for the most I've kept them the way they are. So just so you know, folks. But that is the first part of the fight. He then summons the Saviour, who I think looks really cool, but I don't think the fight against him could be any worse if they tried. And it's funny because I think it's a super cool idea, I just don't like the way they did it. So how do you do this fight? Well, I wish I could tell you because I'm rubbish at it. If you're good at exceeding, just do the... Is it called Caliber, the aerial attack move where you press back, forward, Y when you're locked on? Just do that. Do that, break his shield, and then do this. You know, it's that simple. All of his attacks can be avoided if you're patient enough. At this point of the recording process, I was nowhere near patient enough for this fight. And just be aware of his moves. Like, you'll notice I'm iframing through those projectiles quite well, but the move where he gets all those red lasers is one of those where you have to kind of get away from it or interrupt it, and if you don't, you get hit really easily. Also, if you're good at jump cancelling, which I'm not on this game at all, because it's just a technique I never did, you can stay in the air much longer, and you can use all the moves that you're going to need to beat this old fella up. I just wish he didn't hide from you. It's that thing where any boss in any game, if they flee from you and the entire fight is chasing them, I just won't like it. I've never liked that game design at all. I appreciate it because it's different to the aggressive ones, but anything that's a chasing fight frustrates me because I'm not a very patient player. I like to fight. You know, I like to get in there. And this is an enemy who will do anything to keep you at range. It's like a fighting game when you come up against a zoning character. That to me is my kryptonite because I just want to turn it off at that point. And, you know, a more mature mentality would be to just appreciate that it's part of the game and it's something you have to overcome. I just kind of don't. And thus, this level took me a while to get because this guy kept killing me. But I'm not going to say he's hard, because I don't think he is hard. He's just a bitch. He's a bitch who runs away. And the final level, I do get a much better performance against him, because I had to do that level the most out of all of them, because I kept on failing on the time and on the style points. It was really, really tricky. But I suppose that's another thing as well. He has two moves he does. He does the ground AoE that you just saw, and he does that red laser one. But both of them involve him kind of levitating a little bit at the beginning of his animation. So unless you're super used to looking at the differences in those animations, which are only very slight, it's really tough to predict which one he's doing and punish it. Because the amount of times he does the aerial crazy land attack, when I think he's going to do the red laser one and I don't attack him, I miss out on hits, and it's all down to player experience and knowledge. If you're really up on the Sanctus fight, you'll have no issue here. I'm just not. So as you can see, it's probably the weakest boss fight so far, but it's also the shittest boss. I'm trying to think, I think it's probably better designed than Arkham from Devil May Cry 3, because I think Arkham is just a big pile of shit, literally. But I think the bosses on that game are so damn interesting that, you know, a lot of games pale in comparison when you compare just how nuanced they are. But that's the end of the fight. Clear time 14 minutes is an S. Stylish points 23,000 is fine, and all the orbs found. So there you go, folks. A tricky level if you're not very good at Sanctus, but very doable if you are. Yeah. Thank you for watching. You take care now.